What up, kinfolk? Get your boy Screwface Capone, aka the Do-Rag Gamer, in the house. And I want to take some time to speak on this Mortal Kombat 11 controversy. So, for those of you who don't know what Mortal Kombat is and why are you even here on a gaming channel if you don't know what it is, anyway, Mortal Kombat is a fighting game franchise which has been around since the early 90s. It gained a lot of controversy because of its blood, gore, and fatalities and whatnot. And today it's gained controversy for a completely different reason, apparently. So, anyway, Mortal Kombat 11 was released last week. It's on every major system and it's on PC. So, in the game, there is the main story mode, which is the main storyline of the game. And then you got what we in the fighting game community refer to as the arcade mode. Now, it's not under that name, but the gist of it is that you take a character and you fight a series of opponents, and at the end you face a final boss character. So once you defeat this final boss, then there's an ending that's tailored to your character, whatever character you picked. So anyway, Jax, which is the series' resident black guy, for those unfamiliar with the series, he's got metal arms and he usually fights shirtless for the ladies out there. Anyway, in Jax's ending, he basically takes the bad guys' power over time and goes back in time to prevent the transatlantic slave trade from happening. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But now keep in mind that these endings aren't even canon, so these are all just what-if scenarios because there's already a main storyline. But anyway, people have gotten up in their feelings about it and declared Mortal Kombat 11 is now being woke and being part of some SJW agenda, and even some cases promoting white genocide. And so I'm just here to tell you the only SJW agenda is the one that's in your head, buddy. So first and foremost, you gotta ask yourself, what kind of person would have an issue with a black person or a member of any unethnic minority going back in time to prevent one of the worst things that's happened to its group? I mean, what if a Jewish person had went back in time to end the Holocaust? I mean, would there be an issue with that? I mean, yeah, I mean, even taking the race issue out of it, I mean, what if somebody went back in time to prevent 9/11? Would you have an issue with that? And you even got people screaming out everything about political correctness to historical accuracy. And you're talking about historical accuracy in a game franchise with ninjas, cyborg ninjas, demons, insect women, and this is a series where you chop people's heads off, rip out people's spines, freeze them and shit. This ain't a fucking historical document. I mean, if you thought it was ridiculous, I mean, I can see them making that argument with Battlefield 5, and even then it was bullshit, but to hear it with Mortal Kombat is even more ridiculous. And if you go on YouTube and search the topic, you got a lot of you got a lot of people, like a lot of alt-right people on the right wing, like whining about it, talking about Mortal Kombat being woke and going broke. And I understand, like, there's something else about Shao Kahn saying "Make our world great again" and taking a dig at Donald Trump, but damn, people are getting so. I mean, for people who talk about snowflakes and people being offended by shit, here you are catching feelings over a over what's a tongue-in-cheek reference to friggin' Donald Trump or whatever. I mean, I remember back in Halo 2, there was a character making a joke about Purple Hearts for everybody, and that was a swipe at John Kerry, who was running for president at the time. So I think my favorite ones in the whole controversy are the ones that talk about the ending was somehow promoting white genocide. All right, so rather than talk about how stupid that argument is, we're just gonna look at the dictionary definition for genocide real quick. Genocide. Definition of genocide: the deliberate and systematic destruction of a racial, political, or cultural group. Now that right there That's the Webster Dictionary definition for genocide. And if we want to go deeper, this is what the United Nations Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner page says it's genocide. Killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. D. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. Or E. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. I want to highlight these things real quick. Let me adjust the text too so everybody can see it. So once again, killing members of a group, causing serious bodily harm or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, and forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. So, I have to ask, if you think this is promoting white slavery, how would going back in time to prevent the transatlantic slave trade bring about any of those objectives? I mean, I guess I can see it that way. If, you were one of these people who looked at things like human rights and equality as a zero-sum game. Like seeing another group of people, I mean, be it black people, women, gays, Muslims or whatever, gain like simple rights and privileges that you've always had, be it men, whites, Christians, or whatever. I guess if you see that as taking it away from you, which is definitely not the case, then maybe I can see your forward point, but that's not what this is. As a matter of fact, that was the same controversy with the whole Captain Marvel and the whole argument on representation. I mean, if there's more non-white superheroes, then it's going to take away from the whites or whatever or whatnot. But again, I'm going on a tangent. But anyway, going back to what I said, like, if you're the type of person who would see an issue with a black person in a fictionalized video game, in a scenario that's not even canon, going back in time to prevent one of the worst atrocities in history from happening to his people, then you have to ask yourself, what is it about it that what it is about that triggers you? I mean, why would you have a problem with any of that? I mean, what about that? What problem would you have about that scenario? What aspect of that scenario upsets you about it? I mean, but then again, I guess it goes back into, everybody's talking about how everybody's finding stuff to be offended by nowadays. I mean, maybe us on the left are no exception. Now, I'm not talking about like calling out racism or calling out sexism or calling out transphobia. You're supposed to be doing that. I mean, there are times when it goes too far, yes, but the difference between see, the thing is about that shit was always offensive. I mean, the difference between now and back then was that nowadays people are being more empowered to speak out against this stuff. I mean, even like today compared to even 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I mean, I find it ironic that the same people who call people snowflakes and talk about how people are easily offended by shit, you're now triggered by a non-canon ending about a guy going back to end slavery. I mean, and really, speaking of outrage culture, don't even get me started on the older head stuff, because like they'll talk about how younger people, millennials, will need their safe space and shit, but these are the same motherfuckers that were going back in time, that were going back. I'm not gonna say going back in time. That back in the days, they were trying to ban everything from gangster rap to Dungeons and Dragons to heavy metal music and shit, and they were trying to slap Hell, at the very least, they were trying to slap warning labels on every damn thing, trying to prevent 9-year-old Catholic schoolboys to stop doing it. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, so that's just my opinion on the whole thing. Well, anyway, Mortal Kombat 11 is an excellent game. Is an excellent game, microtransactions notwithstanding, and that's all I got to say on the subject. You have a good night, and it's Thursday night, so have a great. So the weekend's coming up. Have a great May Day, and have a great Cinco de Mayo if you celebrate that holiday. So peace out.